Okay, going to the next sutta, number 8 now. Hopefully you can finish. Wow, it's a long sutta, man. 20 minutes. Let's see whether we can do it. Sallekha Sutta, Effacement. Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anatta Pindika's park. Then when it was evening, the Venerable Mahachunda rose from meditation and went to the Blessed One. After paying homage to the Blessed One, he sat down at one side and said to him, Venerable Sir, various views arise in the world associated either with doctrines of herself or with doctrines about the world. Now does the abandoning and relinquishing of those views come about in a monk who is attending only to the beginning of his meditative training? And the Buddha said, Chunda, as to those various views that arise in the world associated either with doctrines of herself or with doctrines about the world, if the object in relation to which those views arise, which they underlie, and which they are exercised upon, is seen as it actually is with proper wisdom thus, this is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself, then the abandoning and relinquishing of those views comes about. Stop here for a moment. So here this monk is asking the Buddha that there is various views in the world. Can they be abandoned by a monk at the early stage of his practice, meditation, etc.? Then the Buddha says, those views that arise in the world, if the basis for them, the basis for those views, the object in relation to which those views arise, if you can see that this is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself, then you can abandon those views. You see, when a person has a lot of views about the world, about himself and all that, it is because he has this, it is based on the view that I am or I exist. Once you have the concept or the notion I am or I exist, that means you have a self. And once you have a self, then you have a lot of views in relation of yourself with the world, views about yourself in relation to others and all that. So you have so many types of views. But you can see that this self that you assume exists is not I, it's not mine, it's not myself. Then only you can abandon those views. In other words, you can see no self, you can see the Dhamma. And the Buddha said, it is possible here, Chunda, that quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, some monk enters upon and abides in the first jhana, which is accompanied by thought directed and sustained delight and pleasure born of seclusion. He might think, I am abiding in effacement, but it is not these attainments that are called effacement in the Blessed One's discipline. These are called pleasant abidings here and now in the Noble One's discipline. Stop here for a moment. This effacement means to get rid of something, to rub it off, to get rid of it. So when the Buddha says effacement, it means getting rid of unwholesome states. So the Buddha says, when a monk attains the first jhana, that is not yet called getting rid of unwholesome states. That is just pleasant abiding, happy abiding, happy hour. It is possible here that with the stilling of thought directed and sustained, some monk enters upon and abides in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and singleness of mind, without thought directed and sustained, with delight and pleasure born of concentration. He might think, I am abiding in effacement, but these are called pleasant abidings here and now in the Noble One's discipline. Similarly, for the third jhana, the Buddha says that is not abiding in effacement, but abiding in pleasant abidings. And then with the fourth jhana also, the Buddha says that is not effacement. In the Noble One's discipline, they are called pleasant abidings. It is possible here that with the complete surmounting of perceptions of form, with the disappearance of perceptions of sensory impact, with non-attention to perceptions of diversity, aware that space is infinite, some monk enters upon and abides in the base of infinite space. He might think, thus, I am abiding in effacement, but it is not these attainments that are called effacement in the Noble One's discipline. These are called peaceful abidings in the Noble One's discipline. So here you see even the Arupa jhana, the first Arupa jhana, it is such a peaceful state. The Buddha says that is still not abiding in effacement. That is only peaceful abiding. And then similarly for the second arupa jhana, base of consciousness, base of infinite space, the Buddha also says that is abiding in effacement. And then the third one, the base of infinite consciousness, that also is not abiding in effacement, but only peaceful abiding. And then even the highest arupa jhana, the base of the base of nothingness also is not base of nothingness. Then base of neither perception or non-perception. All the arupa jhanas, the Buddha says, are not called effacement. They are only peaceful abidings. Now Chunda, here effacement should be practiced by you. Others will be cruel. We shall not be cruel here. Effacement should be practiced here. Others will kill living beings. We shall abstain from killing living beings. Effacement should be practiced here. Others will take what is not given. We shall abstain from taking what is not given. Others will be uncelibate. We will be celibate here. Others will speak falsehood. We will abstain from false speech. Others will speak maliciously. We shall abstain from malicious speech. Others will speak harshly. We shall abstain from harsh speech. Others will gossip. We shall abstain from gossip. Others will be covetous. We shall be uncovetous. Others will have ill will. We shall be without ill will. Others will be of wrong view. We shall be of right view. Others will be of wrong intention or wrong thoughts. We shall be of right intention. Others will be of wrong speech. We shall be of right speech. Others will be of wrong actions. We will be of right actions. Others will be of wrong livelihood. We shall be of right livelihood. Others will be of wrong effort. We shall be of right effort. Others will be of wrong recollection. We shall be of right recollection. Others will be of wrong concentration. We shall be of right concentration. What we just went through was 8 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. Others will be of wrong knowledge. We shall be of right knowledge. Others will be of wrong deliverance. We shall be of right deliverance or liberation. Others will be overcome by sloth and torpor. We shall be free from sloth and torpor. Others will be restless. We shall not be restless. Others will be doubters. We shall go beyond doubt. Others will be angry. We shall not be angry. Others will be revengeful. We shall not be revengeful. Others will be contemptuous. We shall not be contemptuous. Others will be domineering. We shall not be domineering. Others will be envious. We shall not be envious. Others will be avaricious. We shall not be avaricious. Others will be fraudulent. We shall not be fraudulent. Others will be deceitful. We shall not be deceitful. Others will be obstinate. We shall not be obstinate. Others will be arrogant. We shall not be arrogant. Others will be difficult to admonish, to advise, to teach. We shall be easy to admonish. Others will have bad friends. We shall have good friends. Others will be negligent. We shall be diligent. Others will be faithless. We shall have faith. Others will be shameless. We shall be shameful. Others will have no fear of wrongdoing. We shall be afraid of wrongdoing. Others will be of little learning. We shall be of great learning. Great learning means knows the Buddha's Dhamma, knows the Buddha's Suttas. Others will be lazy. We shall be energetic. Others will be unmindful. We shall be established in mindfulness. Here mindfulness probably refers to recollection, sati. Others will lack wisdom. We shall possess wisdom. Others will adhere to their own views and hold on to them tenaciously. We shall not adhere to our own views. So here the Buddha says effacement means getting rid of unwholesome states. It is not some meditative attainment. But meditative attainment helps very much. If you have meditative attainments, your mind is clear and strong, then you can see where are your faults, and you can have the strength of mind to do what should be done or not to do what should not be done. If you don't have a good meditation practice, it's harder. But anyway, you look from here that effacement in the Buddha's teachings refers to getting rid of all unwholesome states of mind and practicing wholesome states of mind. The Buddha continues, Chunda, I say that even the inclination of mind towards wholesome states is of great benefit. So what should be said of bodily and verbal acts conforming to such a state of mind? So here the Buddha says, even thinking that you want to have wholesome states is beneficial already. And if you can act through your body and speech in a wholesome way, that is even more beneficial. Therefore, Chunda, mind should be inclined thus. Others will be cruel. We shall not be cruel. mind should be inclined thus. Others will kill, we shall abstain from killing, etc., etc. Or the whole list like before. Chunda, suppose there were an uneven path and another even path by which to avoid, and suppose there were an uneven ford and another even ford by which to avoid. So too, a person given to cruelty has non-cruelty by which to avoid it. One given to killing living beings has abstention from killing living beings by which to avoid it. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha says, if a person has been practicing cruelty, he can change and practice non-cruelty to avoid cruelty. If he has been used to killing living beings, then he can practice non-killing as an alternative, and that will avoid killing. One given to taking what is not given has abstention from taking what is not given by which to avoid it. One given to uncelibacy has celibacy by which to avoid it. One given to false speech has abstention from false speech by which to avoid it. One given to malicious speech has abstention from malicious speech from which to avoid it. Malicious speech is speech motivated by anger. One given to harsh speech has abstention from harsh speech by which to avoid it. One given to gossip has abstention from gossip by which to avoid it. Similarly, for covetousness, ill will, wrong view, wrong thoughts, wrong speech, wrong action, wrong livelihood, wrong effort, wrong recollection, wrong concentration, all this, you have to practice the opposite to avoid all this. Similarly for all the others. Chunda, just as all unwholesome states lead downwards and all wholesome states lead upwards, so too a person given to cruelty has non-cruelty to lead him upwards. One given to killing has abstention from killing to lead him upwards. One given to taking what is not given, stealing, has abstention from taking what is not given to lead him upwards, etc. Similarly for all the other things that we went through just now, 44 of them. Chunda, that one who is himself sinking in the mud should pull out another who is sinking in the mud is impossible. That one who is not himself sinking in the mud should pull out another who is sinking in the mud is possible. That one who is himself untamed, undisciplined, with defilements unextinguished, should tame another, discipline him, and help extinguish his defilements is impossible. That one who is himself tamed, disciplined, with defilements extinguished, should tame another, discipline him, and help extinguish his defilements is possible. So too, a person given to cruelty has non-cruelty by which to extinguish it. One given to killing living beings has abstention from killing living beings by which to extinguish it. One given to taking what is not given has abstention from taking what is not given by which to extinguish it, etc. And similarly for all the other things here. So here you notice here the Buddha says, if a person is in the mud, he cannot help another person out of the mud. We have to get out of the mud before we can help another out of the mud. This is contrary to the Mahayana teaching of always trying to help others. So the Buddha says, you have to help yourself first before you think of helping others. Otherwise you are not in a position to help others. So Chunda, the way of effacement has been taught by me. The way of inclining the mind has been taught by me. The way of avoidance has been taught by me. The way leading upwards has been taught by me. And the way of extinguishing has been taught by me. What should be done for his disciples out of compassion by a teacher who seeks their welfare and has compassion for them, that I have done for you, Chunda. There are these roots of trees, these empty huts. Meditate, Chunda, do not delay, or else you will regret it later. This is our instruction to you. That is what the Blessed One said. The Venerable Mahachunda was satisfied and delighted in the Blessed One's words. I look at these words of the Buddha very carefully. The Buddha says, there are these roots of trees, these empty huts. Meditate, do not delay, or you will regret it later. A lot of people, we always think we have time. I always think you have time. Then when your time is used up, then only you regret, I didn't have time. I've seen a few people come to the monastery, they also like that. They thought they had time. A few years ago, about 4 years ago, there was one I think about 4 or 5 years ago. He came here one and only once to keep the 8 precepts. He stayed, I think, 2 weeks. And there were, at that time, there were quite a number of people here. So he enjoyed staying here because there was a good company to joke with and all that. And he was a good cook. So everybody enjoyed his company because he was a good cook. But he didn't take this retreat here seriously. And so after 2 weeks, he left and he didn't come back. He didn't come back for, I think, 4 years. And I heard during these 4 years that he used to go mountain climbing with his friends. Go to Gunung Asahan, Gunung this and Gunung that. He's to keep fit. And after 4 years, he came back to the monastery. When I saw him, I asked him, "What's wrong with you?" Because his face was dark like an Indian. So I asked him, "What's wrong with you?" Definitely something was wrong with him. His face was so dark. He said, "I have cancer, terminal cancer." And then he came all the way back to tell me that his greatest regret is never came back to the monastery. He said, "I didn't come back." He regretted very much. So after that he went back. And I think about 2 weeks later he passed away. So you see, when you have time, you think. When you don't have time, you think you have time. Nobody has extra time. Even if you make use of all the time that you have left now, it's still not enough. By the time you pass away, you would regret, I didn't start earlier. It's always like that. Another man, I give you an example, another man, I think about 2 years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, his good friend came here and stayed for a few days and went back. I was quite happy. And then this man, his wife also came here because the hometown happened to be nearby. So the wife came here and stayed for 3 days. Then went back also very inspired and told him very nice and all that. So he decided that he wants to come. So he came, supposed to stay 3 days, After 1 day he ran away. Found it a bit tough. 2 months later, I was surprised to hear he suddenly died. 2 months later. That man was only about 50 years old, where he expected that he would die. So, you see. A lot of people like that never expect that death will come so suddenly. So never think you have time. I always say, even you practice very hard now, you still don't have. One day when you die, you still think you don't have enough time. So okay, we stop here. Yeah, and even the Buddha, 2,500 years ago, I'm echoing what the Buddha said now. Meditate, Chunda, do not delay or else you will regret it later. Anything to comment or discuss?
We have Effacement Supa. I didn't know the significance of the Supa.
The stupa was mentioned by the Buddha. The Buddha said there are 4 types of persons after they pass away and their remains are cremated. 4 types of persons are worthy to have their remains placed inside a stupa and venerated. One is a Sammasambuddha, another one is a Pacceka Buddha, third one is an Arya, that means a 4th fruit or 3rd fruit or 2nd fruit or 1st fruit, Arya. So these are the 3 types of Arya. And then the 4th person is a universal monarch, a king who is so good that the whole world wants him to be the ruler. So he's a very virtuous person. So only these 4 types of persons are worthy of having their remains. The remains are called sarira. In Chinese we call Sallekha. Sallekha is nothing special, it's just bones that have been cremated. The remains, ashes and the bones, that is Sallekha. It's not some nice looking bright crystal or something like that. No, it's a Chinese idea only.
Community because of this some Dharma centers, they want to have a Siddha degree in the center of energy or focus this energy.
Yeah, but you see nowadays, a lot of things that are practiced in the name of Buddhism is this tradition, customs and all that. Recently, I attended the official opening of a stupa, and there the senior monk says that a monastery is not a monastery without a stupa. That's only his later opinion. It's not the Buddha's opinion. Just like some people say, how can Vihara Buddha Gautama have no Buddha statue? How can you have a temple without a Buddha statue? And I say, during the Buddha's time, all the monasteries had no statue. We are trying to practice original Buddhism, true Buddhism, not all that tradition handed down. Okay, shall we end here?